The new Scorestreak system was one of the biggest topics of debate for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer ever since it was revealed back in September, and I was very against it when I first heard about it because it sounded like it was just going to be rewarding noobs for streaks, basically free streaks. It would sound like requisitions from World War II, but in practice, when we started to play the game through the alpha and through the beta, I didn't hate it nearly as much as I did when I first heard about it. But I'm still not entirely okay with the system. I still think there could be a much better system in place, and honestly I would say just original score streaks would be perfectly fine, but I get why they're doing this system. It's like there's a lot of pros and cons to this system, but I almost feel like there's more cons than there are pros, and I thought we would just kind of talk about it in today's video because I really don't know what they're going to do with this system in the future because it seems like they're tweaking it almost every other day. I mean, you go back to the alpha and the beta and now to the full game, they've been changing the score values, how much you actually earn per kill, how much you earn in the multiplier, how much you earn on like objectives, how much each streak costs itself. They've been adjusting it so much, it's insane, and I'm not going to be surprised if they continue to adjust it until the game's life cycle's over. And I'm not really down for that. I would prefer they had a system that they were confident with, and they're clearly not confident with the system because they've been changing and adjusting it so much. Now, I'm all for innovation, okay? I love innovation, I love trying new things, and I'm actually glad they tried something new with this. But the problem with trying new things is that you need to have a fallback plan for it always. The phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I'm actually very against, because that phrase kind of suggests that if something isn't, going bad and it's just okay or good, we shouldn't try to innovate or change, because in my opinion, anything can be made better. It can be. So I'm okay with them trying, but the thing is, they need a backup plan if it doesn't go well, and I don't think it's going that well. So it's, again, not a terrible system, but it's causing a lot of problems with score streaks in this game in multiple ways, and it's affecting other portions of the game because of it, and I'm going to explain that here in today's video. First things first, I want to get out of the way the pros of this system because there are some great things about this new score streak system that I actually really appreciate and I think is positively affecting the gameplay. So first of all, you're not rewarded for camping nearly as much. This does encourage objective play. It encourages people to stop camping and go around the map and do stuff. It does. Now, does it actually force people to do it? No, not necessarily. People are still going to camp anyways. People are still going to go for streaks, sitting in one building, not moving, not playing the objective. They're still going to do that. But this at least encourages people to move around at least a little bit more than what in a traditional score streak system would, or definitely more than what a traditional kill streak system would. And that's because they're not really penalizing you for dying. I mean, yes, you obviously lose your streak multiplier, which is a reason to not die, of course, but you're not losing that progress. So let's say you're like, I don't know, 150 score away from a chopper gunner. You really want to get it. In a previous COD game where you die and it resets your progress, if you're at 150 score away, you're probably going to camp your ass off. You're going to sit in a corner, point your gun at a door, and just wait because you don't want to die. With this system though, you know that even if you die, all you're going to have to do is get like maybe a 3 kill streak or something, maybe capture a flag or 2, and you'll be able to still get that score. Now, does that take away that intensity of being on that streak? Yes, but the intensity of being on a streak is still there if you're not close enough to that streak. So let's say you're like, I don't know, 700 score away from the chopper gunner and the game's about to end and you're on like a, I don't know, 20 kill streak or something. You know you need to get at least 2 or 3 more kills in order to get that chopper gunner, right? You know you need to. Because if you die, you're going to need to go on like another 5 or 6 kill streak. You don't have time for that. So you still have that intensity there, although it's not always going to be there as frustrating as it would previously, because it's not forcing you to camp if you're like only a little bit of score away. Now, it might force you to camp, like I said, if you're, like 700 score away or something and you're on a pretty high streak, so only like 1 or 2 more kills would give you that chopper gunner, but it's not going to happen as often as it would in previous systems, is what I'm trying to say. So I do like that. It gets away that frustration of dying off of a big streak, which was something that always pained me in previous CODs because it's not really fun dying off a big streak. It never really is. And this is something that I don't really personally care about, but I have to, think about other perspectives. For players who are either not that good or are at least like just in the average category, at least they'll be able to get some streaks. Now, chances are they're not going to get chopper gunners still. They're not going to get, the bigger streaks in the game because you still have to go on some decent streaks for that. But at least these crappier players will be able to probably get the lower tiered streaks. And in previous COD games, they might have never even gotten those streaks at all, because going on like a 6 kill streak for like a Predator missile, although it sounds like nothing, for some players, that's a lot. Anything more than like a 3 kill streak is a lot for them. So at least with this system, they're probably going to get the lower tier streaks at least a little bit, which you might be like, oh, that's free kills. But again, they're not the most powerful streaks in the world, so I don't think it's that big of a deal if they're getting lower tiered streaks easily. Now, when it comes to higher tiered streaks, yes, only better players should be getting those. But with this system, and this is when we're going to get into the negatives, yes, I do feel like it might be a little too easy to get streaks, especially some of the higher tiered ones in this game, even if you're not that good of a player. It's possible. Now, sometimes the good players can get them pretty easily, but then sometimes you'll see like below average players even at some points just getting a couple of 6 kill streaks, a couple of 8 kill streaks here and there, which is good and I guess deserves something, but does it deserve a chopper gunner or a gunship like the best streaks in the game? I don't know. And I think Treyarch knows that. They don't want below average players getting some pretty easy free kills for not really doing anything too spectacular. So they nerfed score streaks hard in this game. And that is the biggest negative impact of this entire system in my opinion. I don't think they made the streaks not as powerful on purpose, because we all love powerful streaks. I mean, come on now. Some of the best CODs have had some of the most powerful streaks in COD history. But this game, the streaks are kind of neutered a little bit. Now, they're not bad. I can still dominate with some of them, but a lot of them are just kind of weak. Now, I got the gunship in the gameplay you're seeing here. You'll probably see the gunship at some point in the video. And I got a lot of kills with it. I got probably like 15 kills with it or something, which is pretty good. But I only really got that many kills because the enemies were kind of incompetent, and it was on satellite, which has no indoor locations other than like the cave. So it's pretty easy to get kills in satellite. But let's say I was playing on like Moscow or something, I'm not going to get that many kills with it. And a big problem with this, especially with some of the other streaks like the attack helicopter and the chopper gunner and all these other streaks, they're so easy to take down. They're not hard to take down at all. And I know this is common in other CODs as well, but it's like almost too common in this game. And since the streaks aren't that powerful, even between that time that takes them to shoot it down, in other CODs you can still get a decent amount of kills. But in this one, I feel like I can't get any kills at all. Like, between the time it takes someone to shoot my chopper down, it's usually like I got like a couple kills with it maybe. And that's not really rewarding. And it's already not rewarding in the first place because, again, you're getting them basically not for free, but you're not really working that hard for them, at least in my perspective. There's been times where I go on nothing higher than like a 7 kill streak and I still get the chopper gunner, and I'm just like, did I really earn that though? I don't feel like I earned it. And what makes it even worse is that the war machine, and I don't know why this is still a thing. I don't get whose decision this was, but they need to change it because it's kind of ridiculous. The war machine counts towards your streak multiplier. I thought this was just a mistake on their end in the alpha, because I noticed it in the alpha. I was like, oh, they're probably gonna fix that for the beta. Beta happens, still haven't fixed it. Oh, they'll fix it for beta weekend 2. Beta weekend 2 comes, still haven't fixed it. Launch, it's still a problem. I don't know. I've seen no one really say anything about this, but I don't see why that's fair at all. Your streak should not count as towards your streak multiplier. Streak multiplier should be only non-streak kills, but your war machine literally gives you more streak kills. So if you go on like enough of a streak for the war machine and you're already on like a 7 kill streak, you're probably gonna get like 5 or 6 more free kills right there with the war machine, because the war machine's pretty damn good, especially in close quarters engagements. I dominate with that thing. And yes, that's one of the only streaks that's dominant. Most of the streaks that are bad in this game are the ones that go up in the sky, which is stupid because those are usually some of the better streaks in COD, like the AC-130, the VTOL warship. They're some of the best streaks we've ever seen, and in this game they don't feel that powerful, which is really odd for a Treyarch game because Treyarch always kills it with their kill streaks. They're always some of the most powerful things ever. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and 4 all had fantastic streaks that dominated lobbies. I guess they just don't want that because they know players are going to be able to get them a little bit easier because of this streak system. And again, I don't like that. I don't know what they could do to change it. I don't think they'll revert it. I really don't think they're going to do anything to change it. They'll just keep adjusting the score values until the game ends, and that's just it. And I'm just not really a big fan of that. I think they need to just realize they might have messed up and revert it. But again, it's just so weird to do that because the game's already launched with such a different system, and you would need to do some massive overhaul. And I feel like the company has too much pride to be able to even do that, to be honest. I mean, I don't even blame them. Like, that'd be kind of rough to revert a whole system that you spent a whole portion, not a whole portion, but a little bit of the reveal live stream talking about this new system. They seem pretty proud of it. And I understand some of the reasons for the changes, but in practice, I just don't think it's good, because it's making the streaks not as fun, because they're not as powerful, and you're earning them way too often. And that's something I'm just not a big fan of. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the Scorestreak system in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.